Hey guys, Coupon to Provide here, and today I am coming at you with a fun dollar store DIY using very clean line Halloween themed stickers and papers. We are going to take them from clean to creepy using very basic supplies. So if you're like me and you love the creepy in Halloween, stick around and we'll get started. Starting off small, we're going to begin creating a magnetic paper clip for your journals or your planners, wherever you want to use it. Taking a large table scatter and a basic nail file, we're going to begin distressing the color of the spider. Once we're done with that, we're going to take some nail polish of your choosing and begin adding some polka dots to the back. I feel like red will just make them seem more scary and venomous, but you could totally go with whatever color theme you choose to go with. Once you're done, you can set them aside to dry, and I'm simply going to take one of these weekly scheduling magnetic strips from the Dollar Tree and just kind of pop it in half. When you do that, you're going to have two sides that will magnetize to each other. After you've done that, go ahead and cover it up. I'm using some spiderweb washi tape, of course, to fit the theme, and all we want it to do is fold against itself. Now, of course, because it is like side, it's going to offset a little bit, but that doesn't matter. As long as it magnetizes and it clips to the paper, then we're good. So all you're going to do is trim around the edge, fold it in half, kind of play with it a little bit. If you need to trim some off of the inside so that it closes properly, go ahead and do so. Just be sure not to cut the washi tape because that's what's keeping it together. Once that's done, we're just going to take some double-sided tape, attach it to the magnetic strip, and attach that to the spider. Of course, you want to make sure that you have your clip in the direction in which you want your spider to face when you're putting it on your paper. And as easy as that, he is all done. So now that we've gotten our feet just a little wet, we're going to go ahead and begin playing with some bottle tattoos. All you're going to need is some type of tea bag pouch. I'm using some biodegradable tea bag pouches and some bottle tattoos. I also found these on a Halloween clearance last year, and I'm so happy to put them to use. And you'll need some water. I'm also going to show you how we can play with it on paper. So select one of your images, cut around the edges of the image exactly how you want it to be on your surface. Next, you can go ahead and take your foam brush or a paintbrush or a towel or cotton ball, it doesn't matter, and apply water to the back of the tattoo as you would a temporary kid's tattoo. Dab it nicely, make sure it's all wet, so that your image is actually clear when you put it down, and press. Once you are done, you can go ahead and peel up your tattoo and you'll have a full, cool image. Now that we have our image on there, we're going to mess it up by wrapping it and touching it and sticking it to itself to add some natural distressing. It looks so much nicer like that when you're trying to give it some age. Next, we're going to go ahead and apply it to the paper, and you will find that applying it to paper dries it a lot faster, so we can't do the same distressing as we did with the last one. So I'm going to show you a little bit ahead how we distress it on the paper. But for this one, we're going to go ahead and play and begin dirtying up the sheets. Now, for the most part, for the rest of this tutorial, I'm actually only going to use these three colors. A gold pigment, the vintage photo distress ink, and a black. It really doesn't matter. You can use whatever you want. I just like to mucky up things nicely so they look dirty and tattered and used and all that good stuff, and especially creepy. Now this has become the regular color routine that I usually use on a lot of different looks. I'd like to start out with the vintage photo, blend that on very well, and then I will soften it up and kind of mix it in a little bit more with the gold pigment. And then I like to go over all of the raised areas from all the creases in the sheet with the black. I feel like it just adds a lot more dirty grunginess that I really enjoy to pull out of those lines of the paper when you put that black over the entire surface. Once we're done adding all of our black, you can get your handy dandy nail file and begin distressing the tattoo. I like to do this because for me it looks a little too clean as is, and once you take that nail file over, it will add a lot more wear and tear to it. Next, we're going to take a repurposed product and put our own creative spin on a wax seal, or sealed with blood. I'm going to take some dollar store food coloring in a red color and simply add a few drops. And all you have to do is give a quick puff of air and you will get a really cool blood splatter result that kind of looks like a bullet wound. This one is probably one of my favorite little touches. So moving on, we are going to turn these really nice clean line bottle stickers into Gory ephemera for our journals and whatnots. So basically the steps are going to be about the same. We're going to take our preferred inks and we're going to use those inks to distress after we use our nail file and kind of wear down all of that glossy finish that the stickers have. Okay, so we pretty much repeated the same steps. Now we're going to get a little extra creative with the food coloring. We're going to take that same red food coloring and something with a fine point and begin creating a nice chunky line of blood as an accent. The reason you want it to be chunky is because we want this blood to run. So all I'm going to do is take it and tap it onto the cutting board. Now this was actually the hubby's idea because he was in the room whenever I was creating and he's like, why don't you try this or this? So he told me to tap it and it gave it a nice run. Then you can just go ahead and take some more and flick it on with the paintbrush. Alright guys, so now we're moving to one of my favorite parts. So I created one of these covers for my mini happy planner and I wanted to show you how to kind of create the same look but using regular supplies. So in mine, I actually used some tea stained paper, or you could use coffee stained paper, doesn't matter, some cardboard packaging, clear glue, and food coloring. Or if you have a glaze style product, you can use that as well. I want to give you an option instead of the glaze because I actually have a lot of these glaze items that I found on clearance and I share that stuff with you guys in hauls all the time. But I'm going to give you an alternative that you could use if you don't have it. So basically all we're doing is cleaning up all of the edges of our cardboard packaging. Of course you're going to want to get something that suits your needs and you can cut down to size for however big or small you want. If you want to use it for a junk journal, book cover, whatever you want to use it for, you can get it to your size. I'm simply going to put these two pieces together, creating a thicker piece. Once we have our two pieces glued together, we're going to go ahead and begin gluing along the outside of the cover so that we can stick it to our tea stained paper. Now to get the look that I'm going for, you're going to have to crinkle up your paper to get a lot of texture and wrinkles into it, because as you see, that is a theme that I like to go with whenever I'm trying to grunge things up. Also, I feel like it gives it kind of like a faux leather kind of look once you're done with the whole project. Now that we've got our paper fully glued, we can go ahead and begin trimming the edges. You can glue these edges down, you can trim them off, you can fancy cut them so that you can fold them in and glue them on. You can get as technical as you want, but we are just trying to go with the basics here and give some ideas. Remember, everything that we create is always the foundation or just a little information, and feel free to tweak it however you like. It is just to inspire creativity. So now all we're doing is just trimming the edges so that we have a nice size sheet. I'm going to go ahead and begin doing the same inking procedure as I showed you in the other steps. I want to give you a variety here, so we're actually going to do two different looks. Both sides are going to take the same style of ink, probably the same order, but I'm going to show you a little bit of the different ways you can play with the glaze. Okay guys, so for the first glaze, we are actually going to play with the clear glue and food coloring. I took some orange and some red food coloring, combined it, and I got a really gorgeous fall color that I thought was very Halloween appropriate with the pumpkins and whatnots. Now you can definitely add or take away any color that you like and use whatever color combination you like. I just poured some glue into the bowl, added the food coloring, called it a day. And now I'm going to go ahead and set it aside or dry it with a blow dryer. And then we're going to come back and play with the other side. The other side, we're going to use some more of the red food coloring. I loved the blood splatter, so we're going to go ahead and do that again. And then we're going to coat just the clear glue on this side so that you can see what it looks like just using the glue by itself as opposed to any food coloring with the glue. Once you're done with that, you can go ahead and blow dry it, or you can set it aside to dry. Now I'm going to take these really awesome holographic photos from the dollar store. Everything that I have in this video, guys, I found on a Halloween clearance in previous years. I paid maybe $1/4 for these things, and it's awesome. I always try to craft shop on clearances and get more bang for my buck and then repurpose it when the season comes back around. So I found this 4 set of really cool holographic photos where it's like a couple or a man and a lady, and then you kind of shift and they look like they're about to eat you. Like, it's so cool. All I'm doing is cutting out the people, and I'm actually going to use them as a folder pocket or a tuck spot on the cutout. So I thought this was going to be adorable. All I'm going to do is take some double-sided tape, add it to the edges that I want to adhere down, where of course the pocket will not be, and then we're going to stick it to our cardboard wherever you like it. You can have it in the side, on the center, you can have it horizontal, you can have it however you like. I just really love the way this part looks. Now that that's done, we can take our fun ephemera pieces, even some that we created together, and shove them into that cool pocket. I think this is adorable. And I love that we got 2 different styles using the clear glue and the food coloring. As you can see, we did this together with very minimal and super basic supplies that you can find anywhere on any budget. So looking at everything that we created together, it is a small start project. It's just something to get my hands dirty again and share the fun and the gore of the holiday Halloween season. If you guys did enjoy this tutorial, please go ahead and give it a big thumbs up. I have missed you all so much. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Then you don't know that I've actually been out sick. We moved. I finally have an office again, and I am back to creating creative, fun tutorials and videos for you guys. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button if you did enjoy. Comment down below. Let me know what part you enjoyed the most. Go ahead and follow me on my Instagram and Facebook group at Coupons to Provide. And don't forget, guys, keep couponing. Bye!